Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, we're going to be challenging Deadly Assault once again. So the first boss that we're going to be going up against is pretty much the same as the previous reset. So we're going to be going in with our full mono physical team. And I had actually done this match before. And one of the things that I had to do differently is that I had switched the position of Alice and Jane. So the lineup was basically Jane, Yuzuha, and Alice. That way, whenever I would use Yuzuha's EX special attack, it would go right into Alice instead of Jane. And for whatever reason, I guess that little difference in their positioning made me only get a 2-star clear rather than the 3-star clear that I end up getting this time. So on this go around, I ended up reverting it back to the way that I had it before, with Alice in the first position and Jane back in the third position. So with this match, I've gotten a lot more confident with this boss. It's a lot easier to get the 20,000 points than when I had did it previously, or rather the first time around. And I have been practicing with my defensive assist and dodging, things like that, so I feel so much more confident and I'm able to hit the defensive assist on cue. And one of the best parts about this team is just how quick everything is. You're using Alice's EX special attack into her enhanced basic, switch into Yuzuha, use her EX special attack right into Jane, and then just kind of like repeating that process. So it's definitely like a lot of button mashing, but it's very fast paced, and that's one of my favorite type of teams. And right here on this part, I don't know why, but the first time I did it, like I didn't really understand what we were supposed to do. And then towards the end of it, I actually kind of figured out what was needed in order to get the bonus points. So I think the next time I approach the boss, I'm definitely going to be able to get the max rewards for it, or like the max bonus points for it. But it did take some figuring out. And this team right here is honestly making me consider summoning for like M2 Jane, just because of like the improved quality of life that would provide my team. But this team has to be probably my second strongest. The first one being my Miyabi team with Yanagi. That one's definitely undefeated, because we already know no one's stronger than a Void Hunter. And I'm taking a lot of damage. I just noticed that my Alice is very low health. I'm honestly kind of surprised that she didn't die throughout the match. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention to her health bar, and in my mind I was kind of like dodging every attack, and I thought I was hitting all the defensive assists, so the fact that her HP got so low was a little scary for me. But either way, she survived the remainder of the match and I was able to complete it successfully. And look at that, I already got my 3 stars and just over 20,000 points. That was a smooth, clean match. So we're going to be moving on to the next boss, and this is where I'm going to be using my Yanagi and Miyabi team, along with Astro Yao. This match definitely surprised me, just because I for whatever reason, I was finally able to get, I think I got over 40,000 points at the end of this match, which is crazy. That's something that I have never been able to do before. But in order to get bonus points on this match, you just had to trigger it with either disorder or impaired. And this team does that perfectly, especially with this boss in particular. So it was super easy to take advantage of the bonus points and get every single one of them. And then as we know, again, like Miyabi deals so much damage and so does Yanagi, so it was perfect. And I don't remember if this boss was weak to ice or if it was just specifically weak to electric type units. But either way, I don't think there was any kind of like ice resistance in this match, so it just made it that much easier for me. And thanks to Astroyal, like switching between characters is so much easier, and so much more efficient. And since I was proccing so many of the disorders, I was able to use Miyabi's enhanced basics so many times, like back to back to back. And this team was a lot of fun, and I'm also really glad that this is the boss that we had this week for the reset. Because the last previous reset, the bosses were a lot more difficult for me. Even if I was using the same team, I just was not as effective. And that just might be because this boss kind of does a lot of standing around. Very minimal movements, and there's not a lot of moving parts involved. So it was a lot easier for me to hit the target and pretty much get all of the bonus points that I needed in order to reach the 20,000 easily. Like, I've got over a minute left and I'm already at 20k. And then I just use Miyabi's ult, and I already have her enhanced basic is charged up, so as soon as I switch back into her, I'm going to use it again. Into Yanagi's ultimate. Hopefully get 1 or 2 disorders. Okay, only 1. And that was 2 disorders, so as soon as I switch back into Miyabi, I'll use her EX special and use her enhanced basic again. And I'm about to hit 40,000 points. Yep. That was honestly really fun. Like, I can't believe that I made it to that many points. And I'm hoping I can do that with other teams, hopefully in the future. But I do need to summon for different characters so I can have a bit more variety before that happens. Alright, so cleared it with an S rank. And now I'm going to be moving to the last stage. This one is definitely going to be the weakest of them all because, once again, using Yijuan is just not... It's just not my thing. Like, I'm just not really efficient with her team. I am surprised that I was able to get 16,000 points overall, but I just don't have the characters that she needs. Instead of Trigger, it would have been nice if I had Jufufu, but I don't have her, and I will not be summoning for her in this upcoming patch, just because there's other characters that I want more than her. And I still haven't taken the time to really, like, master her gameplay, so I'm just kind of like... I'm doing the best I can without really paying too much attention to it or practicing. My biggest struggle with Yijuan is doing her hold basic attack. I don't know how to trigger it. So, like, I'll use her EX special attack and then hold basic, hoping for... I don't even know how to describe the attack, but like it creates that sphere. And you just like press and hold. And I don't know how to trigger that as often, and I'm not sure if there's some type of like requirement in order to kind of like use that attack. Like, this one right here. I don't know how to trigger it. And I feel like that's one of her main sources of damage. But I am definitely impressed with how easily I am, how much easier it is for me to be able to hit the defensive assist, especially compared to like probably like a week or two ago where I was like struggling. Now it's just so much easier for me and I'm able to time it a lot better. On the next patch, I will be summoning for Vivian, so that'll be a nice addition to my team. She's going to be a great Ether Anomaly unit. I'm not exactly sure what team I'm going to put her in, just because Mono Physical, I'm doing really good with that one. And I could technically use her with Miyabi, but Yanagi works so good, I'd rather not. So I'm trying to figure out what new team I can kind of like build around Vivian. I'm not sure if she's good with Yijuan, but if she is, that might be a bit helpful. And I was planning on summoning for Lucia as well, just to kind of have that rupture support. But based on the amount of pulls that I have, I'm not sure if I will. I'm currently on my guaranteed, but I'm only at like 2 pity. So if I end up having to go to hard pity, I don't think I'll have enough to be able to get Vivian, her Wenjin, and to get Lucia. But if I can, that would be perfect. So the match is almost over. I'm very close to getting the 2 stars. And I know that's as high as I will go. And at this part, I just know that I'm trying to trigger her like hold basic, and like I just cannot do it for the life of me. And that's that. So managing to get 8 stars out of 9 is not bad, but I definitely have to go back and try again. But anyway, thank you so much for watching.